what's going on, guys? Matt TV Haynes here, aka the Clockmaster, and
with Captain Phil Effects.
Yeah, we're here to discuss episode 21 of The Flash. Just to keep in mind, guys, obviously if you're clicking this video, this will contain spoilers, so we're going to be talking about everything that we can remember about the episode. Also, if you have not seen my reaction with my mother, link is right up here if you want to check that out.
Right up there?
Right up here.
There?
Like right up here, like in this area.
But I can't. How come they can see it, but I can't see it? What's going on with that?
Because you need to get this at the vision. Anyway, so we're gonna talk about it, man. Basic recap. It was well, besides before I get my opinion, basic recap. Barry, he's explained to the team, if the team is basically trying to come to grips with the fact that an alternate version of him is Savitar, and they're trying to come to grips with it. The episode starts off with Barry and Savitar explaining exactly which Barry he is, and which is, I don't know if you saw my reaction yet, but I was super excited when that happened, because remember we were talking about the whole time remnant thing. Even though we weren't 100% spot on with it, we were heading in the right direction when we talked about it in our review last week, so that's why I was really excited. But that happens. They have like a little square off, and then we see some more. Like every character gets to really, experience certain things. Tracy Brand and HR, they do their thing, and whatever. Barry gets his memory back, and that's the episode. Now that's out of the way. How did you feel about that episode? Did you, how do you feel about it?
I thought it was funny. I thought it was a comedic episode because Barry lost his memory. He doesn't know who anybody is. What am I in the dentist's office? Were you experimenting on me? See a ring. Who's the lucky guy? That's you.
That's you.
Okay.
I mean, I also liked the fact, like, right before he went into the room, he's like, what, am I getting a perm?
Yeah.
There's the little jokes. Like, I mean, I saw a lot of reviewers talk about this too as well, that it felt like a big filler episode. Like, It felt like a filler episode. And some people were like, why a filler episode this far into the season when there's 2 episodes left? Why we're getting a filler? But overall, I really enjoyed the episode myself. I like to see Killer Frost working with Team Flash
once again.
Well, Killer Frost instead of Caitlin, even though it's same person or whatever, same person. But to see them working together too was pretty cool. Tracy Brand and HR, their little relationship thing that they're trying to start. Right. But everybody thought the pacing was a little weird. The time was a little weird. It's like, oh, we just met each other 2 weeks ago. Let's kiss. You know what I'm saying? Like, exactly. But you could tell that they were attracted to each other since the first time anyway. So
you know how HR is.
Yeah,
we saw
that.
So
little HR player, HR. Now, one of the most craziest things. I want to save the Bart stuff for last.
Yeah.
I want to save the Bart stuff for last. But the whole Barry Tar and Barry encounter in the beginning. What did you think about that?
Why he did this and why?
What did you think of that? Like that whole interaction in the beginning. Like his explanation. Do you think it really makes sense? Do you think his origin makes sense? Because I had a lot of questions last night in the live stream. People were just asking me like, how is Savitar creating himself? But who created him in the first place? How did he end up there? And I know Cisco was explaining that it's like a loop, like a time loop thing, but it was just there. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, most of the stuff in Flash, well, the whole time travel thing doesn't make sense, because if Barry right now in the present is correcting or trying to correct it, how... I don't understand. Does something else happen that causes Barry to become Savitar? What really happens?
I mean, based on what happens, like what the Remnant was explaining, is that, he's a Remnant that was, apparently this was a Remnant that was created by 2024 Barry.
Right.
Okay. Apparently, at least that's what I'm getting. So my theory wasn't exactly 100% right, but I was right in the Remnant area. So it was close to it. But apparently, it's 2024 created that Remnant, and whatever, he killed everyone else except for himself. And everybody hated him because it isn't a real Barry and blah blah blah. He explained all of that. But then the whole Philosopher's Stone thing. So they're saying like he went back in time to create, make people feel as though he was the first God of Speed. Like he went back way before Barry was even born, to make it look like if he was the first
speedster.
Speedster, yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot. I don't know. To me, I felt like that explanation was just filling up loose ends. Was just like, how do we explain this without really making sense, but just to make it sound like it's making sense? You know?
It still didn't make sense.
Exactly.
Like okay, back to when Barry traveled to 2024. It just didn't make sense when he said, I don't know who Savitar is. I was like, wait a minute. How do you not know who Savitar is? If you figured out in 2017 that Savitar is yourself, how come you didn't figure that out in 20? I mean,
the only thing that explanation I can come up with is that either 2024 Barry was lying to 27 Barry.
Though? For what though?
Because keep in mind, like, if he tells him, oh, Savitar is me, it's us, we are Savitar, like, he's you, he's me, that his reaction, or knowing how Barry is, he probably wouldn't want to tell himself that, because he probably would think that if he knows, you know. And you know what's funny? Here's what I'm thinking now that you mentioned that, what's about to make it even more crazier now. Did 2024 Barry, when he was in 2017, travel to 2024 before it became 2024?
Time travel is weird, bro.
I'm just trying to think about that.
Time travel is weird.
So it's like, did he? So what I'm thinking is like, okay, did 2024 Barry travel to 2024 when he was in 2017, and now that he's in 2024, after everything happened, he's like, okay, well, everything's happening again. Here is myself coming to visit me. I'm gonna tell him what my future self told me when I was here. And it's just like, I mean, you know, the whole looping thing, and it's like, you know, like, you know, because they're saying if the whole looping thing is like, you know, a thing, his mom is dying over and over again, all that's happening over and over and over again. So it's just like one of those things that's just like, oh my god, dude, I don't know. But it's just, I mean, the whole thing about him not knowing, about 2024 Barry not knowing who Savitar was, I genuinely think it was either a lie or Barry changed something in the timeline.
And another thing, I can't believe this went over my head. I'm having one of those anime moments, you know, those mystery animes like Case Closed, where they're like, of course, why didn't I think of that before?
What is going on?
When Cisco talked about, during the Legends of Tomorrow episode, when they found like the...
You mean the crossover?
Yeah, I think it was.
Because I didn't watch Legends of Tomorrow season 2, so I don't really know.
No, it's not too much of a spoiler.
Yeah, no, I don't care about spoilers. Just I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's not a spoiler now. It'll make sense to you if you watch it. Barry made like an audio file.
Yeah.
Right. And I think Gideon's story is some.
Yeah, you're talking about the crossover episode where he told him not to trust himself. And everything.
Told him not to trust himself, but no one knew what it was.
Yeah.
And now they know that.
Not to trust the remnant.
Yeah, not to trust the remnant.
Not to trust me, not even me. So, but the thing is, why would it? The error in that is like, why would he make a statement like that, knowing that they're not even going to know that Savitar's Barry at first? I mean, obviously they're not going to trust him after they find out it's Savitar. They're not going to trust him unless he's saying that maybe, because I did badly. I saw a still from next week's episode, which is ruined to me because, you know, Instagram and Twitter and everything, they like to just post things up. And it was of Barry Tar in the original Flash suit.
Oh,
he was wearing the original Flash suit. Oh, so I don't know if the future Barry who sent that message is saying don't trust him because he's going to try to seem like if he's going to turn over and be good again, but he's really just playing you.
Right.
So it could be like, okay, we just found out who he is, but even though you found out who he is, he may try to convince you that he's changed. Because I did see, did you see the sizzle reel?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh man, you gotta see the sizzle reel. Well, do you want to see the sizzle reel? Because I can show you real quick.
Yeah, we can.
Let me just show you the sizzle reel. There you see. So he just watched the sizzle reel. He just watched the sizzle reel, and you saw what's in there, right? So you see the part where Iris is touching his face?
Yeah.
Do you think there's a point where he's trying to convince them that he's okay now?
I believe so. I mean, like, yeah, because Iris knew that Barry or Savitar killed her, and now all of a sudden you're making contact with him.
Exactly.
You know, you're not hitting him, you're not slapping him, you're touching
his face.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Oh boy.
I don't know what to think. I really feel, and if you really put it in perspective, like I feel bad for Barry Tar in a way, because I feel bad for him. You know why?
Why?
He wasn't asked to be created. He didn't ask to be created.
No, yeah.
He didn't ask to be a clone of the original. He didn't ask for this type of life.
Right.
And then he got it. He's created. You know, in his mind, he is Barry. All right, even though it's a clone essentially,
all the memories,
or a mirage or whatever.
Everything.
He shares feelings for Irish. He shares feelings for everyone, and then to have them all turn your back on you because you're not original,
right?
Could kind of make it go crazy. I can understand. You see, I'm not saying I agree with Savitar. It's just that I understand his mindset.
I understand
as to why he's this way, and I can feel it for him in a way. You know, as to hey man, like I didn't ask to be here. Like, I did not ask to be here. Now, I'm just trying to live with the life that I now have. And no one wants me here. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I can understand that. But it just confuses me. He says, and you remember he says, Iris, remember when he's speaking through Julie, he said, Iris, I'm sorry that you have to die.
But it's either
why would a villain say that he's sorry? Unless they're jokingly saying, "Oh, I'm sorry you have to die," but he said, "I'm sorry that you have to die." He said it.
Well, I don't really. Well, now that you put it that way, I don't really think of him as a villain.
You think, yeah, okay.
I don't think of him as bad because of what you said. He didn't ask to be here. He was abandoned by everybody. Everybody forsake him. He was just trying to live a normal life. But they said, no, you're a fake, you're not the original Flash, you are not Barry. Even though he believes that he's Barry, he shared the memories.
Experiences, everything.
Same emotions, he feels the same way about everybody else in the show. And they're like, alright. Well, he's like, alright, since you don't want me, since I try to be nice, here's what's gonna
happen. I'm just gonna ruin your life and ruin everyone's life. It's a sad situation to be in. Like, if you really put yourself in this guy's shoes, like, dang, bro, like, wow, like, I could have, I didn't ask to be here,
right? But
I'm here now, and no one wants me.
He called me fake.
He called me fake.
He called me unoriginal. All right, we'll see how fake and unoriginal I am.
Exactly.
When I do all this stuff to you.
Exactly. And then once he experiences the power he can have as a speedster, because one thing Barry says in that episode, which is so key, that any speedster can be a god if they wanted to.
Right.
It just takes one bad moment or anything like that. And Joker says it's one bad day. It says one bad day.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
Even the Punisher said that. Well,
just one bad day.
I mentioned Marvel and the DC.
Man, it's all good.
Sorry.
Now the Punisher says it. Punisher said it.
One bad day away from being me.
And Joker says, it only just takes one bad day for you to be like me.
Right.
Same thing. They both said the same thing. So I was like, I don't know who copied who, but but I mean, it's a crazy thing.
Bart Allen.
So the Bart Allen reference, I caught it immediately. Yep. When he said Bart, he's like, my name is not Barry. I know my name. It's not Barry. Let me see. It's Bartholomew. Okay, no, that's a bad name. I think Bart.
Yeah, I like Bart.
When he said Bart, I was like,
oh man.
That Bart reference, I was like, okay, that is an obvious Easter egg. Obvious Easter egg. People know him as Impulse, but I know him as Wally West. I mean, I keep saying Wally West. I know him as Kid Flash. I keep saying that. I know him as Kid Flash. Keep saying that. Even last night in the live stream, I almost said it. Forgive me. Yeah. I know him as Kid Flash from the future because he's Barry's grandson in some iterations, and then in some other iterations he's the Impulse. But I know him as Kid Flash. What do you think about all that, man? Do you think they're gonna make? You think we're gonna see Bart anytime soon? Or that was just a funny thing that they were trying to do?
I think it was just a funny thing because CW does that a lot. They just make references. They don't really do much. Like for example, during the 4 series crossover episodes when they first met Supergirl and then Brandon Ruth, who was Superman in the 2006 movie, he was like, she kind of looks like my cousin.
Yeah, the little joke.
Yeah, the little joke that they put in. But they didn't do anything.
Superman Returns, They
didn't do anything with that, really. So I think it's just a reference. Could we see him? I don't see why not. I mean, you have Legends of Tomorrow. You have Flash. I don't see why they can't, you know, bring Impulse in. But it would have to be like something really crazy for Impulse to go into back into the past.
Yeah.
Or for them to go far. I don't. It doesn't make sense.
It'd be crazy if they pulled off like a Batman versus Superman thing, where Ezra Miller was like, Bruce.
Yeah.
Bruce.
It's like, oh
no,
man,
I'm too late. Like if they pull off something like that, and at the end, I would be geeking the mess out if somehow like the last episode, somewhere like the very last 10 seconds of the episode, you see Bart Allen, grandfather,
right,
listen to me, and then so I'll be like, yo,
oh man, it's not the right time.
It's not the right time. I'll be back. I want to see all the speedsters, man. Liberty Bell, Max Mercury. I tell people Max Mercury was like Bart Allen's mentor. Like that's well, in the Flash Rebirth comics with Jeff Johns. If y'all watch my videos, I know I bring that up every time we talk about Flash.
Right.
But Flash Rebirth, Jeff Johns, Ethan Van Sciver, best story ever. I would suggest you pick it up immediately. 6 issues. You will have a great time reading every single issue. But they highlight so much the relationship between Max Mercury and Bart. Max Mercury is kind of like the brains behind the speed. Like he knows how the Speed Force works mathematically.
Okay.
So he's one of the earlier speedsters. I forgot if he's before or after Jay. I can't really remember, but he's one of the earlier speedsters, one of the older ones. And there was a specific scene in the Flash Rebirth where everyone was in the Speed Force and Max Mercury was in the Speed Force, and he's just there on the ground doing math or whatever, and then he's telling him, hey, this is how you get out and stuff like that. So he knows a lot about the Speed Force mathematically and everything. He's literally understands everything about it to the T.
Okay, alright.
So even more than Barry does. And even more than Jay or Thawne or anyone. He knows a lot about the Speed Force. So Max Mercury is pretty important. So I would like to see them bring Max Mercury somehow in the near, obviously wouldn't be, this season, but somehow next season or maybe season 5 or something, because this show can go on for a long time because Flash has so many villains, so many different speedsters involved. I mean, Daniel West from Another Earth. You even got you can do some Black Flash stuff. There's so much stuff going on. There's even an iteration where Barry Allen becomes the Black Flash in Rebirth.
Black Flash, Godspeed.
Godspeed, yep. Accelerated Man. We saw a hint of him with Gypsy on Earth 19 or whatever they were. Right. And it could go any way. So I'm very just happy where the show's going to an extent. I don't want them to kill Iris, because I personally like Iris.
I love Iris.
I love Iris. I don't want them to kill, because I said if they kill Iris, I'm going to be so turned off from watching the show. Unlike Laurel, people are like, oh, but they killed Laurel and no one cared. I'm like, me personally, I didn't really like Laurel like that.
I mean, well, when she became Black Canary, I was like, okay, I'm into it now.
Yeah, but I wasn't really attached to her as I am to Iris, but I was, well, no, I'm lying. I was attached more to Laurel because we got to know more about her. We had enough time because she went through what, 3 seasons or 4 seasons? 3 seasons and a half, I guess. So we got to know more of her, and Iris is only in this 3rd season. We really don't get to develop too much close to her because she doesn't have that much screen time. I just noticed that too.
But she doesn't have well, I don't think she has any abilities in the comics. No, she's just regular.
She's just a reporter.
So I don't think
that. So in the comics, they show her as being pretty important to just being Barry's center. Because without Iris, Barry would go crazy. And that's why, and that's exactly what Savitar was saying. I kill Iris, you're gonna become me. And one thing he said in the sizzle reel that was so important. He's like, either way, if you kill me, you become me. If I kill Iris, you still become me.
Right.
Either way. So it's like, whoa, you put me in the Speed Force, I'm gonna come out. So it's either you kill me and become me, or I kill Iris and you still become me. You know what I'm saying? So that's so crazy. It's so true though.
That is.
Because Barry's not a killer. Alright? If he kills Savitar, he can easily become him because he will now have this bloodlust factor or a way, or to kill somebody.
I mean, well, not really. I mean,
you don't think so?
I don't think so. I mean, because even if he does, he still has people that he could talk about. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Joe has like caught a body or two. He's a cop.
But I mean,
even like Oliver, he could talk to Oliver. He could go to He could go to Star City and talk to Oliver about it. Oliver could help him out and see where
Well, yeah, he still has that support around him. So you're right. You're right about that. Yeah, but there's still a slight chance of him still becoming him. There's still that chance because there's still a chance that he can still become him either way. Yeah. So I mean, I think that's a powerful statement, man.
I don't know. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Yeah, I doubt it. But I mean, because think about like all the people that he's went up against. Everybody who's like, I mean, keep in mind he's witnessed. Let me see. I guess in a way, he kind of got like people killed. He kind of killed people. He killed John Diggle's son. John Diggle is known.
You mean his daughter?
His son before, because he had a
daughter before. Yeah.
Sorry about that. His daughter before, and now he's like, he moved on, and now he has this. Well, John Diggle has a son. And there's some minor other things too that's happened. I mean, let's see. Did he kill his mother? In a way.
If you want to look at it, would you want to consider that manslaughter?
I mean,
to watch someone, because he watched it happen. He had the ability to stop it.
Right.
And he did at one point, but then at another point he stopped himself from stopping.
Right.
From stopping Earbard.
I guess in a way, kinda.
Manslaughter?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, he has moved on from all the stuff that he's done.
Yeah.
So I don't think so. I don't think that he would become, Savitar or Burned Berry.
I can see that. Yeah.
I still want to figure out how he got that burn.
The burn on his face, yeah.
Was that like from the Speed Force?
People keep saying it's a Speed Force burn.
I mean, that would make sense why it hasn't healed back.
Yeah.
But
a Speed Force wound.
But still, though, I don't know. Yeah. And where the eye did he had to get like a new eye? Did it scorch his eye? Because he has like a blue eye now.
Yeah, it would have scorched his eye. I mean, his eye wouldn't be safe.
But
you know what I mean?
I don't know, man. They need to explain that more.
Anyways, guys, man, so that does it for this discussion. It's pretty long as normal. So if you watched all the way through, thank you so much for that, man. Let us know in the comment section down below your thoughts on episode 21 and going forward as we get really close to the season finale of The Flash season 3. And, leading up to season 4 and everything like that, man. You guys let us know in the comment section down below everything. Make sure to subscribe. If you are new, hit that like button, ring the notification bell. We'll see you guys in the next video, man. We got a couple more videos planned after this video, a reaction to Cars 3, and then we're also going to be doing another DC versus Marvel kind of topic, if the Justice League is going to be better than Avengers, that kind of thing, because Diane Lane said some stuff. So we have a couple more videos coming out, so be on the lookout for those videos, man. Thank you so much for watching this one, and we'll see you in the next one, man. Clockmaster and
Captain Phil
out.